We had previously lived in Kenya during the Mau Mau campaign, and when we came back from Kenya, I made it my research plan to cycle back to Kenya. All I wanted to do was to go back to Kenya. My father persuaded me to go to Australia under what they now call, or used to call then, the Big Brother movement. And he said if I didn't like it in Australia, he would pay my passage from Australia to Kenya, which I agreed to do. Initially, I was driven to London, and I can't remember whether it was St Pancras or one of the other stations, mainline stations, where we boarded a train to take us to Tilbury Dockside. They used to go into Tilbury, the trains used to run direct into Tilbury. I believe they bypassed now. And we were taken there and alighted on the boat, the steamship Orontes. And as we went out through the lock gates, or I believe it was lock gates, we stood on the back of the boat and I could see my whole family down below on the quayside waving us goodbye. And that was the last I saw of my family. It took 6 weeks to get from Tilbury to Sydney in those days. And we got so bored that we took up French knitting, and I knitted myself a bobble hat. And when I got to Sydney, a place called Liverpool, we went onto a training farm where they basically trained us for 6 weeks. And then we were allocated jobs out in the outback. And I went to a place about 500 miles away from Sydney, a place called Finley, which was, and I worked for an ex-submariner engineer who was British, but he had married an Australian wife. He's since departed this world, and worked on a dairy farm for a couple of years. It had everything for me, sunshine and the outdoor life. I lived in huts and in upturned water tanks and tents and you know, all the sorts of things that a young chap imagines taking part in, the outdoor life.